It is time to expand minds through movies, TV, sports, and flicks. It is time to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. It is time for the Captain Talks Flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talks Flicks podcast. I'm your host, the Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. I welcome the podcast where me, the Captain, talks about movies, TV, sports, flicks, anything you can see on a tuber screen. I like to get on here and give my unique perspective, because after 47 years of being on planet Earth, I've developed a unique perspective about these movies, TV, sports, and flicks, and I'd like to get on and tell you about it. Because just maybe you care. And according to the stats, it looks like you do care. I want to give a big shout out to Charlotte, North Carolina. Got some plays over in Charlotte this past week. Gracias, gratitude, Doraba. In Charlotte, I watched a UFC last night that was coming straight from your city. The UFC was in your city, and the fights were absolutely spectacular. Hope some of you guys got to go over there and see the fights in person, because I hear a UFC fight live is phenomenal. So anyways, thanks for listening. Guys, just gratitude. And just FYI, back in the day, I went to school to be a radio DJ, but never got a job. I think I never got a job because I just didn't have the stamina. If I would have just had a little more stamina, maybe that would have enabled me to become a radio DJ. But I didn't, and it allowed me to become the greatest podcaster in the Matrix. Some to debate might be true, might not be true, but I said it on the internet, so it's gotta be true, right? Because everything on the internet is facts, not facts, true, false, propaganda, fake news, the Matrix, planes, trains, automobiles. I don't know. I didn't make the internet. Ask the people that made the internet. So when you're online, just be aware, just watch out. Anyways, I could ramble all day, but I won't. Let's keep writing the podcast. But first, a word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, life can be hectic. I felt a little bit of that today, actually. A little bit of craziness. But in this world of craziness, sometimes you just need to pause. Pause and breathe. People call that meditation. So when we meditate, sometimes the floor can be a little uncomfortable. So to get a little more comfort in meditation, I use a meditation pillow. Maybe you want to use one too. Well, if you want to use a meditation pillow while you meditate, we got a meditation pillow available over the existing fixtures at the store. So you can meditate in comfort, right? Because when you're sitting for a long time in meditation, why not have some comfort on your bum? Yeah, right. Why not? So if you want a meditation pillow, I'll put a link to the meditation pillow over the existing fixtures at the store. So check it out now. Let's get on the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back again. And let me tell you this. I've not slept that much this week at all. And I've put immense amount of work in. I'm talking tons of work, no sleep. It's absolute madness. I'm 47 years old, bro. I probably shouldn't be doing this. Let me tell you guys something, though. I wasted a lot of time in my youth not putting in the work. And I got to make up for it. So if you're young, let me just give you some advice real quick, bros. If you're young, do the work while you're young. Because it's a lot harder to do it when you're 47 years old. Now it's achievable. It's doable. I'm living it. I'm breathing it. I'm walking the path. I'm doing the work. I'm putting an immense amount of work. But I guarantee you, if I would have did one in my 20s, probably been a little bit easier. So you young guys out there, I see a lot of young people listen to this. Take it from an old man who's 47 years old. If you're going to do work, do it now, play later. I played first and did work later, and now I regret it. I don't really regret it. But it would have been a lot easier if I had a 20-year-old body. I'm just saying. 20-year-old body is very capable. So anyways, yeah, take some old man advice. Do the work now in your 20s, and you will thrive in your 40s from my age. Yeah, so anyways, yeah, that went down. Did a lot of work. Blood, sweat, tears, monkey mind. You know how it goes. But it doesn't matter because the captain does the work. The show must go on. Things got to get done. This is how we roll. Anyways, did all the work, and now it is time to podcast. And this week, I'm going to talk about the world's second oldest profession, the great game, the wilderness of mirrors. I'm going to talk about spy, espionage, and I'm going to tell you some lies that are true. I'm going to talk about true lies, unfamiliar partnerships. But before I get into that, a couple things. First of all, there will be spoilers. And second of all, I do own some shares in Paramount. I just want to be clear and transparent to make you aware. So now that I told you that, let's get into true lies, unfamiliar partnerships. So first of all, let me just say this. True Lies is getting canceled, bro. They're canceling True Lies. I was reading the news this week and it said True Lies is canceled. I'm like, man, I love this show. The show is fantastic. So many lessons. It's comedy, it's family, spine. Like, bro, they canceling it. How could they? Well, I can tell you why. Because basically, every season, shows got to get cut. It happens every season. Every network does it. They cut shows. It's how it works. And sometimes shows you like get cut. Now, unfortunately, a lot of shows that I like over many years, we're talking going back like 20 years, get cut early. I can think of a bunch of them that I really liked and they cut them real early. I don't know why I'm always picking the losers. They canceled everything I like. And the stuff that I just don't like that much stays on the air for like 30 years. Makes no sense. But anyways, I just enjoy them while we got them. And anytime a spy show comes on TV, you best believe the captain is watching it. Any spy show comes on TV, I am watching it. Guaranteed. If I have access to the channel, bro, I will be watching it. So I had to take the True Lies ride. Unfortunately, it's all over. Unless maybe someone saves it. You know how they go. Sometimes shows get saved. SWAT got canceled on a Friday. I love SWAT. SWAT's a really good show. I watched that as well. And it got renewed on a Monday. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, seriously, like, Shamar Moore's posting on a Friday, like, man, SWAT got canceled. And then he's kind of, saying some things about it. And next thing you know, I wake up Monday morning or something on Monday, and it's like, yeah, they're bringing it back. That's how it works. So they say True Lies is canceled, but we can't be 100% because sometimes they just get uncanceled. It's a crazy TV landscape we have. And so who knows? Maybe True Lies will come back. We'll have to just wait and see. But anyways, it's canceled, not canceled, doesn't matter. I'm going to talk about unfamiliar partnerships this week's episode. And let me say this. This is great. This show is fantastic. It does not disappoint. It's funny, it's fun, it's action-packed, it's spine, it's family, it's all types of cool stuff. I don't know why they're canceling. It's just so great. But anyways, maybe people just don't get it like I get it. But anyways, in this episode, Harry Tasker's buddy from back in the day comes to visit him because he needs some assistance with a mission. And so that's basically the plot. An old guy that used to work for Omega, that's Harry's buddy, came back, and the team are kind of disappointed. Harry loves the guy, but the team's like, I don't know about this guy. And then when I saw this, I immediately thought about us people, and how have you ever known somebody like back in the day? Like, I went to school with this person. I went to college with this person. I knew them when I was younger, but I am older now. And they come back in your life, and all of a sudden you kind of revert to your old ways. Maybe you talk more like the way you used to. Maybe you take actions and move the way you used to. Maybe the influence of that old school person, friend, whatever, has influenced you in the old ways. And you've grown old, you got a little older, and you've evolved your mentality, you've evolved your habits, you've developed a certain way of living. Right? But then these old people from back in the day, old buddies, come around, you start hanging out, whatever, get together, and all of a sudden reverting back. But your current social circle, who knows you now, is like the evolved human being, or how you are now, sees you with the old school person, like, man, I don't like this. You kind of not acting, we don't like him. We don't like her. She's kind of shady. It's not good influence on you, right? I'm sure you probably experienced that. Maybe you experienced it, but just weren't aware of it. So let me just tell you this. Next time someone from back in the day, enters your sphere for whatever reason, and you guys are hanging out, chilling, just kind of be aware of how you're acting. It's like, you know what? The captain was right. When these people come around, I do revert to that type of speech. I do revert to that kind of thinking. They kind of draw me back into that slightly. And maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe you don't care if you get drawn back into that way of thinking, way of speaking, way of acting. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But if you've evolved to a new space, new place mentally and habitually, and you're in that place and you're getting drawn back into the old ways, might not be the greatest. So just be mindful of that. That's what I learned from watching True Lies this week. I'm just telling you, True Lies had nothing but lessons the whole season. I can't believe they're canceling it. There's so many lessons in True Lies. It's craziness. Lessons that apply to the human experience. Right? Beautiful show. So this whole season of True Lies, I just been gathering the lessons from the show. Kind of like I did with Star Trek. It's just a lot of these shows have been coming out lately. I just been trying to pull the lessons out of them. What can we learn from this? I've been saying on this podcast for a long time. This podcast is about expanded minds through movies, TV, sports, and flicks, right? So as we watch these TV shows, we try to learn the lessons. And the captain will look at it, see what he sees, see what lessons can we see, what can we learn, how can we evolve our life, assuming you want to evolve. One of my quotations I live by is evolve, not devolve. I'm trying to evolve and not devolve. Maybe you feel that. Maybe you don't. Maybe you want to devolve. Maybe you're like, screw evolve, and I'm all about devolution. You know, that's cool if that's your lifestyle. But I don't know. I'm trying to evolve. And I suspect if you listen to this podcast more than once and heard what I talk about, you're like, yeah, I'm with that. I do want to expand my mind. I do want to evolve, right? You're there, right? So do not let people from the past pull you into old negative ways of thinking, talking, and acting. Because sometimes it'll happen. Sometimes that draw will be there. In fact, I'll just say this real quick before I sign off. The last 6 weeks, I kind of reverted back to some old school habits and way of thinking. You know, so the mental things going on in my mind, habits that are old that I thought I was done with. And like they're coming back like, nah, bro, we slipping a little bit. This is not how we move. This is not how the captain moves. This is not how the captain acts. But sometimes we fall back, and then sometimes when people come around from back in the day, they might draw you into that. So that is a lesson from True Lies, bro. The lesson from this week in unfamiliar partnerships is do not let your old school bros bring you back into a space you went away from, evolve from. Do not devolve. Let's evolve. Let's get it. So yeah, True Lies is sharing lessons. It's a shame it's getting canceled. Like I said, maybe it won't get canceled. And that is all I want to talk about this week. So thanks for joining me, guys. It's gratitude. And until next time, we'll see you. Strong lives are motivated by dynamic purposes. Kenneth Hildebrand. Until next time, it's Captain Peace.
The Captain Talks Flicks.